Depression most of the time is just rotten motivation. We all get motivation to do something, then we start something, and sometimes some people, they're not able to finish because the motivation is gone halfway through and now the task is unfinished. Then they move on to the next thing. Then again, there was a motivation, the motivation is gone after a while. Then again, there was a second task that is uncompleted. And then they keep stacking up these tasks, unfinished tasks. They will have the motivation and then the motivation will be gone. And when you keep doing that, when you keep repeating that cycle, you lose confidence in yourself because you feel that you cannot commit to certain things, that you cannot start something and then finish it. You lose the confidence in yourself. And that turns into the sadness. And that sadness turns to the depression. That's most of the time what happens. Motivation it's a huge problem. People want to get motivated. And once the motivation is gone, they don't know what to do. They don't want to do whatever they started. They don't want to finish it. So that's why, first of all, you're not supposed to be looking for the motivation for the things that you need to do. There are certain things that need to be done with or without the motivation. It's like some people, they will start the gym and then the motivation is not there. And then they were like, I don't want to go to gym anymore because I don't feel like it. It's not if you feel or not. It's not about if you have the motivation or not. There are certain things that need to be done. We wake up every day. Not everybody enjoys the life. We do have the motivation or not, but we still gotta wake up because we have certain things to do that we're gonna handle anyway. The same way, you're not supposed to be steering yourself on the basis of what you feel or what you don't feel. There is a whole different world outside of your feelings and outside of the realm of your motivation. Do not rely on the motivation or the feeling because that's gonna lead to the depression. You'll be sad and then that will become depression. And most of the people, they are always living in their own thoughts. They create the problems that don't even exist in the real world. They will create the problems and they will suffer in their own thoughts. Maybe you do have the problems, but those problems, they're not that big as you're creating in your own fantasies, in your own mind. And then you suffer from your own world. You don't want to know what is out there. You have just created your own problems and you'll keep thinking about it. The more you think, the more you suffer. The more the problems, they become bigger in your mind, not in reality. You don't have to always keep thinking about certain things. You gotta get out of your mind. You gotta get out of your own head and see what is there in reality and act accordingly. And most of the people, they just suffer because, they are the permanent dwellers of their own head. And they have no interest in the reality whatsoever. Especially the teenagers, we have the phones, we have laptops, the computers, the tablets, all the kind of stuff. And then we're always on the internet, looking at, scrolling through the social media. And then we compare our lives to the other lives. We have access to the entire world. We just pull it up, Americans, we just pull it up like what people are doing in, United Kingdom. And it's like, if I'm sitting in Toronto, I see, what is going on in LA, that LA is way cooler than Toronto is. Like this individual is living way better life than I do. We're the same age. And when you start comparing yourself to the other people, how they're living their life, that is when you lose yourself. Now you're trying to live somebody else's life. What about your own life? Who is going to live that? Who's going to take care of yourself? Because you're trying to fit yourself into somebody else's shoes. What about your own thing? You're not supposed to be comparing yourself to somebody else. You're not supposed to be trying to live somebody else's life. You're different than anybody else out there. You should see what is available to you and then how can you use those resources and means to make yourself better and make your life better and make everybody's life better who's around you. It's not always like, hey, if this man is out there hanging out with like baddies, driving the Ferraris at 24 years old, this 16 years crypto guy is making millions of dollars, and I'm here like living in my mom's basement at 25 or 26 years old, don't have a stable job, don't have a woman. Well, that's his life. Whoever's living is that life, that's his life. And you don't know how many problems he had. I mean, just because he has money, he has woman, doesn't mean that he's overall happy. I mean, yeah, there are certain advantages that that individual has, but that doesn't mean that somebody's life is 100% perfect. Everybody suffers the problems. Everybody faces the challenges in the life, but that don't mean that you just make yourself suffer. That this dude is living better life than me at this age, and I am not capable of these things, or I'm not worth it, or I do not have any talent. Sometimes you just gotta wake up and live. That's all the life is about. You just gotta wake up, eat, see what is there, try to, do your daily chores. And that's it. That's what the life is all about. And then another major reason why everybody is so depressed is because of the unrealistic expectations. And we all have unrealistic expectations. Like, it is not a problem to have too much expectations. The problem is when your expectations are something that cannot become the reality. It's like, if I dream of money, if I dream of wealth, if I dream of me living in some nice city, driving some good vehicle, that's fine. There was nothing wrong with hoping that. There was nothing wrong with expecting that kind of life. Everybody desires that. But if I feel that, someday I'm going to surpass Elon Musk when it comes to wealth, that may or may not happen, but then you got to understand that in order for that to happen, the chances are like 0.00001%. I don't know how I came up with the number, but that's what I believe the chances are. You can live a good life, but if you have like unrealistic expectations, like if I said, hey, I want to go and marry Sydney Sweeney, or I want to marry Monica Bellucci even though she's old, that's not going to happen. So you have to understand what is realistic and what is unrealistic, and then you should act in that framework. Once you realize that, you will know that you're on the right track. And a lot of the people, they take antidepressants. They might work if you have everything right going on in life, but there are certain things that makes you, that makes you, depressed. And then I think the antidepressants can work, but overall, I don't believe that antidepressants are, the good cure for the depression. For the moment, they probably will be able to cure, but I think like the rebound is gonna be like way worse than you have ever thought. So I wouldn't recommend antidepressants to anybody, but I just believe that, you gotta understand how the reality works. You gotta understand that the real world is not the fantasy land. It's not all, the rainbows and the butterflies. You're not gonna just come here and then collect the dolls. The life is full of suffering for everybody. I'm not trying to demotivate you, but life is full of suffering. You just gotta make through it. Everybody suffers one or the other way. You gotta understand how to find your way to live the life, the way it makes, sense to you. And then everybody's trying to find the meaning in the life. I don't understand, like, I'm pretty sure, like, if these philosophers were not here, nobody would have been asking for what is the meaning of life. You don't have to know what is meaning of life. As I said before, you just gotta wake up and live. You don't necessarily have to find the meaning. You're not obligated to find the meaning. This is not a race that, whoever finds the meaning first will go and live the life and will go to the kingdom of heavens. What scripture says that you are supposed to be finding the meaning in the life. If you're religious, I don't think like you're supposed to be having the meaning in the life. You can just, wake up, live your life. That's what the scriptures say. It doesn't say that, you necessarily have to do certain things in order to find, a purposeful life. And even if you don't believe in God, then, it's just, sometimes you just gotta live. You don't have to necessarily find the meaning. And most of the people, they're depressed. Oh my God, like, I don't understand why I'm supposed to be living. You're here, buddy. The dying is boring. There is nothing after death. It's just, if you're living, live to the full extent. You're not here by choice, but if you're here, take advantage of it. You're not obligated to do what other people want you to do, or what you don't have to be what other people want you to be. You don't have to bother what other people think of you. These things, they will stress you out. They will fill you with the anxiety and so much depression. Just don't give a damn about it. I'm gonna look at these prostitutes. Now, I'm not saying that you're supposed to be a prostitute, but these prostitutes, they don't give a damn. They know that if they're not gonna make the money, this is a capitalist world. Money is everything. You need money for everything. And these prostitutes, they know that in the end, nobody's gonna take care of us if we don't have the money. They can take the dignity. If the dignity is gone, that's okay to them. The thing is that they need their money in order to survive. Now imagine they have the dignity, but they have no money. They don't know if they're going to be able to pay the bills or not. They don't know if they will be able to eat or not. That will put them into the depression. So they don't give a damn what the other people call them. They don't care if they're prostitutes. They don't care if everybody calls them whores. It's just they want to do something, and they do it because they need what they need in the life. They have figured out how to live a life that suits them, not anybody else. Be you. You will never be depressed.